Live from the MultiGP headquarters, this is MultiGP News.
Today on MultiGP News, the second annual Mega Drone X kicking off 1 mile below the Earth inside a cave where over 100 pilots from all over the world gathered to compete for the top spots in the race. MultiGP News has a full recap plus a breakdown of Flitefest South you don't want to miss. Then another Quadtoberfest event wrapping up, this one in Colorado. Details of all the racing action from beginning to end. Also, it's time for our big announcement that every pilot's been patiently waiting for. All this and much more coming up on MultiGP News. Welcome back, everyone. Here are your top stories this week on the MultiGP Rundown. A great day of racing at Quadtoberfest in Colorado last month. The event so good the city mayor even popped up to show his support for drone racing. Check it out. It's always great seeing MultiGP chapters working together, and 5 chapters in Colorado did just that at their Quadtober event in Greenwood Village last month.
Today we have a drone racing event. Pilots from all over Colorado are here to compete for an FPV drone racing event. And we're here to compete for prizes. First through 10th place wins a prize, and there's 56 pilots here competing today. Well, I got started, I've been interested in RC my whole life, and my grandfather used to take me out to airplane shows, and I just love flights. So RC flying was a natural step in for me, and I went into my local hobby shop and they recommended a chapter, a drone racing chapter, and they mentioned that there's a league, a drone racing league that races every weekend. And so I found out about my local league, and I went out and I attended one, and it was these guys, the other guys, out of Boulder, Colorado. And that was my first race, and they kind of showed me what I needed, where to order it. They sent me links, and then I got into it, and the rest is history.
MultiGP chapters: Colorado Springs FPV, Aurora Parker Denver chapter, Fort Collins FOCO FPV, Boulder The Other Guys FPV, and Grand Junction The Gatekeepers, all coming together to put on the big race.
The intent today is to find out who the best drone pilot is in Colorado. This is the last big event of the year, so the goal of the pilots is to basically make up for any other races where they didn't do as well. So they're hopefully going to be able to finish the year with a podium finish.
The event sponsored by OAS Hobby, the Mortgage Consulting Group, Liberty Mutual, and Far End Gear.
If you want to come out and you want to race, then join one of our local chapters in Colorado. So, you know, ADP or the other guys, MultiGP chapter, join one of these chapters. There's multiple chapters. They're spread out throughout the state, you know. Join one of them and we will teach you and help you build and be able to make those things work. We love to teach people. We want to make the community bigger. We want to help people learn how to build and fly these.
I like the sport because it's racing and it's approachable. When it comes to a lot of racing, it's extremely expensive. And this brings it to the everyday person. It's not very much to get into the hobby. It's still very much intense racing, very close racing. We're splitting our lap times by the tenths and the hundredths.
The race, a best out of 3 format. The competition fierce and close, especially when it came to the top 10 paying spots. Pilots like Chance Freefall Hartman saying battery management a must on this course. A certain amount of throttle was necessary on various parts of the track, or else your batteries wouldn't make it to the finish line.
What I like most about this sport is the competition. All these guys out here today came for the race, and a lot of them are really good pilots, and I love to compete with them. I love to race next to them, and it's really fun to see who gets first, well, not really fun to see, but who crashes out, who makes it to the next, race, and who wins. And so competition is a big part of the sport.
In the end, Chance Freefall Hartman unbeatable with 2 9-lap runs and 1 8-lap run during the race. A tie for second was between Brett Rocky Mountain RC and Dave Crispy Dave. The competition heating up after Crispy Dave zooms past Rocky Mountain RC, but clips a gate, bursting his quad into flames. The top 10 pilots taking home some cash. Here are those pilots.
My biggest challenge, probably my biggest goal also, is to probably become the best. I want to become the best drone pilot, and I know I'm up there. A lot of people know that. I love seeing people congratulate me after races. It's a good indicator that I'm really getting up there, and I just want to see how far I can get, how good I can get. And so, like here, it's just more practice to get better.
If you have a story you'd like to share on an upcoming episode, email us at news@multigp.com. What a successful turnout at Flitefest South. MultiGP News cameras were there catching all the action. Let's take a look. The third and final Flitefest event of the year kicking off in high gear at the beautiful Lake Wales Airport just an hour outside of Orlando early this month.
Hey friends, my name is Josh. I'm from Flite Test, and this is our first ever Flitefest South that's held in Lake Wales, Florida. One of the really cool things about this is we have an awesome community from all over the country and even the world. And one thing we really love to do is come to them and have like a family reunion of flight. This year is really special because this is the first time we've actually combined not only model aviation, but also drone racing, wing racing, and general aviation, combined with our favorite folks at Aviator PPG, with a lot of paramotoring involved as well too.
Flitefest South had tons of activities for everyone. The 3-day event was packed with fun flies, FPV racing, paragliding, camping, music, and much more.
What's up, guys? It's That Flying Ryan here, out here at Flitefest South in Central Florida, here Lake Wales, Polk County to top it off. We're out here, we got the drone racing over here behind me. We had wing racing early this morning. We got some guys out here doing some homemade stuff. I don't even know like where they come up with these ideals to create these planes or what they're doing in this tent over here to my right, but it is crazy going on over there right now still, and they're trying to go home. These guys want to go home, and these kids do not want to leave this Flitefest.
Our very own Reese Can was there filming the event, but couldn't resist the urge to skydive himself. The FPV racing there was also intense. First place winner Jordan Sheepers and his father Dave Wave Smith explain.
I had it sectioned off to where there was a qualifier stage for the first 2 days, and that qualifier was just really your fastest lap. Whatever lap you got, if you got in the top 16 rankings of the pilots, you moved on to the races on Sunday. But I think there was around like 60 pilots, maybe 60 pilots who at least put a lap time up on the board, but only 16 of us moved forward to the next day.
Competing against some top pilots like Navihawk and Big Russ, not only challenging, but quite a treat for this father-son duo.
A handful of pilots that we actually have looked up to over the years and watched, like Navihawk, Abel was there, and Big Russell was there, who was a very fast pilot on the West Coast. And so, yeah, we look really forward to racing against those guys, and have a little bit in the past. But yeah, we got posters of those guys on our walls, so we look real forward to going and compete with those guys, and especially when Jordan does well.
Even Wild Willard was there, which was pretty cool to fly against him.
Well, it's Wild Willie now.
Or Wild Willie. They got the job done. It was a good track. It was enough for all of us to get through it without crashing. You know, that's one thing that you look for in a track, is if all of the pilots can get through it where it's still challenging enough, but they can get through it with fast times and have that level of adrenaline, but still be competitive with your skill and your drone.
The pure emotion caught on camera after Jordan took first place speaks volumes about the intensity of the final heat.
You know, when I was coming through my last lap, and at the final stretch, I actually had to correct. and I thought that maybe, I knew from my spotter that I knew that Russ was far enough behind that I had enough time to correct, but it really threw me off when I did. And it really got to my head a little bit, but I was able to pull through and get to the final gate. But as soon as I went through that final gate, it was a big sigh of relief, really. I let out a lot of air that I was holding in that whole time.
Whether he's winning or losing, Jordan says what matters is that this sport has taken their father and son bond to new heights.
But I've been flying regular planes FPV at my regular AMA flight field for about a year before I actually got into drone racing with him, and that's kind of how I got started.
Well, I'd say we're more at each other's necks when it comes to how emotionally attached we get to how we perform. And, we butt heads, every now and then, but the drone racing really has brought us together. It's something that something that we probably wouldn't have been as close if the drone racing wasn't here, if we weren't doing this together.
In the end, these pilots taking the top 3 spots in the race. Congratulations to those pilots.
Good race, dude. Good race.
Yep.
Good race, Abel.
Yeah,
Told you he was gonna win. I told you.
Yeah.
Flitefest South is a festival for all aviation fanatics, from drone racing with MultiGP to paragliding with Aviator Power Paragliders. Catch a recap of the first ever Flitefest South this week. The second annual Mega Drone X coming to a close in Louisville, Kentucky this month. Over 100 pilots and spectators coming together in a cave for some extreme racing action. MultiGP News has the details. Pilots from all over the world coming together to compete at Mega Drone X 2.0 for a chance to earn an all-expense-paid trip to India to race for $150,000 in cash. The 2-day event had over 150 pilots, some as far as Russia and Germany, facing off on various tracks like the Micro, Tiny Whoop, and the infamous Big Track. Team races were also a part of the action, which made the event just a little more special. Pilots like Ellie Bull FPV from Canada enjoying everything MDX had to offer.
Ellie, how old are you?
I am 15 years old.
And how long have you been flying?
Just over a year and a half now.
Tell me a little bit about your setup for this race.
So I am running X-Nova 2206 2600 kV motors, Runcam Micro Swift, Furious FPV Fortini, a Detroit 5-inch Doberman frame, and Adrenaline 1900 4-cell. There's a lot of fast people. It's really hard to tell. There's a lot of fast guys here, so it's gonna be a good race.
Have you run some of the packs during practice?
Yeah, it's a fast track, really fast track.
Which one is your favorite track, the big track or the micro track?
The big track's like a really fast track. The micro is a little bit more technical, but I like the big one better, just because you can get a lot more throttle range and stuff.
The race is split up into pro and novice class. Andy Hahn from Germany dominating most of the heats on both tracks, but ended up taking first on the micro, which many said was very technical. On the big track, or as many were calling it, the battery burning track, the competition was fierce. Check out the moment Jared J-Rod Quillen's battery ran out after some unexpected waiting on the flight line caused him to have just enough juice to complete 7.99 laps. Teammate Zach Falcon X Carlson slowing down behind J-Rod, and Gab 707, unaware of all the drama ahead, slams into Falcon X, knocking him out and eventually taking first in that heat. After 2 days of racing and some close competition, these pilots from both pro and novice class heading to India. Pro class pilot Paul Nurkala, who took first, and Lucas Droner Dearborn, who took second, ecstatic for their big win. And a big congratulations to Team Canada for taking the win in the team races. And when we come back, find out which lucky pilot's going to take this brand new Runcam home, the winner of our trivia question coming up. Plus, our big announcement you don't want to miss. Stay tuned. Now it's time for our crashes of the week. We want to thank those who took the time to send us some of these crash clips. Check it out. If you would like your crash featured on an upcoming episode, email your videos to news@multigp.com. It's time to announce the winner of our contest. Last week, we launched a trivia question on our YouTube channel, sponsored by RunCam, where the participants had a chance to win a brand new Micro Swift FPV camera. The question was, what are the dimensions of the RunCam Swift 2 Rotor Riot? Here is the answer to that question. And congratulations to this YouTube user for being chosen as the winner of this trivia game. When the two biggest names in drone sports come together, you know something monumental is going to happen. Today is that day. MultiGP is very happy to announce a partnership with the Drone Racing League and the inclusion of MultiGP in the DRL simulator and the 2018 SWATCH DRL Tryouts online. MultiGP will be working closely with DRL to engage our pilots who are over 18 to participate in the 2018 SWATCH DRL Tryouts by downloading and competing on the DRL simulator from November 15th, 2017 to January 15th, 2018. During this period, drone racers from all across the world will be putting in laps on the DRL simulator to earn a top spot on the leaderboard. This is news that affects every single MultiGP pilot in the world. Having the two most powerful drone sports organizations working together means more recognition worldwide for MultiGP and its pilots, and it creates a unity between the DRL and MultiGP that will only grow the sport faster. This partnership also means that a MultiGP branded track will be on the DRL simulator coming next year, and a link to the MultiGP website will be on the DRL site, allowing even more people to discover and become involved with MultiGP. The DRL is extending some MultiGP exclusive benefits and prizes to the 2018 SWATCH DRL Tryouts as well. Exclusive benefits to MultiGP pilots who excel in the tryouts include the top 20 MultiGP pilots during the tryouts will receive MultiGP and DRL branded start-finish gates for their local chapters and local races. The top 5 MultiGP pilots on the leaderboard receive a Racer 3. The top MultiGP pilot on the leaderboard will be invited to the live esports tournament in February of 2018. This MultiGP pilot will have the opportunity to compete and win a $75,000 contract and fly in the 2018 DRL season. Stay tuned to MultiGP DRL and MultiGP news all throughout 2018 SWATCH DRL tryouts to stay up to date on the leaderboard and the rising MultiGP pilots in the tryouts. Will you be that lucky pilot? You will only find out if you compete. Good luck to all the pilots. The MultiGP Drone Racing League has over 20,000 registered pilots and well over 1,100 chapters globally. That's all the time we have for this episode of MultiGP News. Remember, we're aiming to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and thanks to our viewers, we're already halfway there. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Thanks for watching. I'm Kalara Manade, reporting for MultiGP News. See you next week. If you like this video, press the like button below, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in being showcased in the next episode of MultiGP News, please contact us at news@multigp.com.